What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Pops and I back in the shop today. It is Saturday, February 18th, and we have just got back down here in the shop. It's about lunchtime today, and we've got, if y'all noticed in the last video, we finished up Kelly's Impressive. He was able to come get it that evening or the next evening, and we kind of just been doing some cleaning in the shop, sweeping up some stuff. And we've got us a fire built this morning because it's a little chilly outside. You got to love the weather in the south. 74, 75 degrees and storming one day and 40 degrees the next day. So we're back in the shop. And what we've been doing the past couple of nights, we've just been kind of going over our car and getting measurements on stuff that we need to order, stuff that we need to get. And just looking at what we have here and what we need to get. So we rolled our car out. Pops and I were going over some of the front end suspension stuff, and just making sure again that everything is tight that we've put on the car so far. And we finished up the steering, of course, like I said in the last video of this chassis. And then we'll cut the tack wheel off on the steering wheel, pull all that shaft and everything out that you see right there when we go to do the interior. And then once we get the cockpit and all back in it, we'll put that back in. But anyway, we've talked about that before, so I don't want to keep on talking about the same stuff. But what we've got today is, as y'all seen in the video from Moulton Speedway, it was not, oh, I hit the car with the tripod here. I got a tripod in my hand. It was not the best night of racing, as y'all can tell in the video. Ryan's car, the 96 car, it actually looked the worst on the racetrack after the wreck. And it actually fared pretty good, I'd say. He broke the bar where the limit chain was bolted in. When the guy ran up under him in the wreck, it shoved the rear end forward and down. So what it done is it jammed the drive shaft up into the transmission, and then it broke the tubing, the actual 1.25 inch tubing that the limit chain was bolted to. So Ryan's gonna fix that. Ryan's a great welder. He's a fabricator. Him and his dad are both fabricators. And if y'all ever need a roll cage and you're around Russell, Alabama, they do work for all people. You know, people from Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, whatever. It's King's Custom Cages in Russellville, Alabama. Jerry King, Ryan King, they can fix you up. And Jerry does bumpers and stuff like that also. And Ryan is going to get his car fixed. Luckily, most of it was cosmetic sheet metal stuff. So Mike's car was all cosmetic, right rear quarter panel, T-bar, a little piece of decking, and he's got it all beat out, cleaned up, and put back together. And but the one that didn't fare too well was Blake's Harris. Blake turned it backwards and tried to avoid a wreck, and he got into some other guys, and it actually bent the rear clip in the car. So Blake is going to bring his car out here today. It is still on the trailer from last weekend. You know, everybody gets busy working and stuff, and Blake's been working, and he had to order parts, and it broke the right front control arm. It broke ball joints, spindles, and it broke, I think maybe the tie rod. I'm not sure. But he ordered all that. All the parts came in, so he was going to get the parts this morning. Shout out to Doug McElroy, McElroy Motorsports. And he's going to bring the car out here on the trailer. We're just going to unload it out here, fix everything here. And once he gets it here, we get the sheet metal off of it. We get it stripped, and we'll show y'all how bad the damage is. In the Harris cars, there's a bar right in front of the fuel cell that runs parallel with the ground that the down tubes come down to from the halo. And that bar actually looked straight. It looked like it was all behind that bar and right in front of the fuel cell back. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to rebuild the rear clip, we'll fix all that. We'll fix all the rear clip. And we want to update the fuel cell cage in that car. We want to do a 1-inch thick wall, updated fuel cell cage like all your newer cars are. And we'll get all that done and fixed. And now that the rear clip is bent, we have to redo it. We can do the fuel cell mounts how we want to. So y'all hang out with us. It's a good Saturday, beautiful Saturday outside. We're very thankful for the weather we have today. And we hope everyone was safe during all the bad weather in the south and southwest. And we hope everyone got through it all. And if you do have damage and stuff, we're praying for you. And we know there were some tornadoes in Oklahoma, Texas, stuff like that. So
I think they said they had a tornado in Arkansas.
in Arkansas, yeah. So we're praying for all y'all that got caught up in all that. Once again, we got lucky here in North Alabama. So it's hit or miss for us. Sometimes it hits us, sometimes it splits and goes around us. So, but it did split and go around us this time. So we're very fortunate. And we just want, we got a little update. We've got some more people coming on as sponsors. I have to meet with some people first of next week, and that's going to be a good deal for us. I'll go into more detail later once I get to talk to these people and find out what they want to do and stuff like that. Also, I have been talking to a lady that is owns an embroidery business, and she is actually going to make us some hats. And she's supposed to let me know this week. She's going to give me a sample this coming week. And they will be the Richardson 112 hats. And they're going to be the black with the heather gray on front. It's a little bit lighter gray than this one. It's kind of like the Gatlin machine hat y'all have seen me wear. And she's going to make us some hats. And those will be for sale for $20 a piece. If y'all are interested in buying one. We are going to do some giveaways. But y'all hang out with us. Y'all be sure to check us out on Facebook, on the Berm on Facebook. And that's where we do a lot of our update stuff. Where like if I'm gonna post a video, stuff like that. And if y'all will, please share our videos. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button for us. And it'll help us get our videos out there more. And one guy commented on one of our videos that our video popped up after Vice Grip Garage's video one day. And I thought that was really cool. That's pretty neat. So the algorithm is there to where our videos are getting out there more. But we appreciate y'all, and we thank y'all for watching. So if y'all will, just hang out with us. We got a lot more content coming. All right, y'all. As y'all can see, we got a tore up race car sitting here. Blake brought it in earlier. I didn't video anything, but it still had all the sheet metal on it. We were all just kind of working to get sheet metal off. Me, Pops, Blake. And we're just working on getting everything out of the way so we could look at it good. And I think we're going to be all right. It is bent like we were thinking. This bar is straight. And the underslung bars and those braces in there are all straight. It just did bend it from right here back. As y'all can see, that bar is broke. It bent that bar down there. And got her pretty bent back here. Bars broke loose, fuel cell cage broke loose. That down there is bent, broke. But suspension is good. Nothing's bent in front of that bar, so we can just replace this back tail section here and redo a fuel cell cage, and we'll be good to go. Blake did go ahead and he's been out there beating sheet metal on the trailer. He went ahead and took it with him. He got it beat flat, and I think he's going to go run it through the English wheel now and get it rolled back out. So still got some sheet metal work to do right here where it bent the aluminum for the T-bar. We'll have to replace all that. But he's got a new lower control arm, new spindle, and all for the right front. As y'all can see, all that is broke and bent. So he's got new drag link. Just in case any of that's bent that we find, we got parts to replace it. So he brought everything out here, and now me and Pops can get this thing up on jack stands, get it level, front to back, side to side, start measuring stuff, and we're going to go ahead and cut that rear clip off tonight. And we got to make a tubing run. We don't have the tubing here right now, but that's no big deal. We can get it And after we get all that cut off, and out of the way, then we'll probably come up here and start knocking this right front stuff off. The shock has got to be moved to the front of the control arm and a new mount built for that, because we noticed at Moulton Sunday that the right front shock is bottoming out. It don't have enough travel. So we're going to fix that while we got the car here and get him fixed back up. That way he can be ready for the regular season coming up. I think Moulton starts their regular season this coming week. And North Alabama, we haven't heard anything. So, no. So hopefully they open up. Hopefully somebody runs it this year.
Well,
and maybe they'll open up at the end of March, 1st of April, like they normally do. And Blake will be ready for that. So y'all hang out with us. We're going to cut a rear clip off and see if we can't get this thing headed in the right direction instead of beat up and look like it's headed to the scrapyard. So y'all hang out with us.
oh, you got your impact?
Yeah, it's over there.
Finish, or the bottom?
It's loose.
Okay.
The only thing holding it's set to you back here.
Okay.
We're gonna do some real-time video, y'all, while we get this fuel cell out. Once we get it out, we're gonna do that before we get on jack stand, so we got less room to, or I say less room, we have less height to mess with trying to get on the floor. Well, I do my gloves. Well,
Last place you had them.
yeah. We did go ahead and loosen some of this up earlier, so. Oh, it broke.
It broke right off.
Yeah, it broke right off.
Hold it.
Hang on. Just hang on. Let me get this out of the way, because they're really sharp. I don't want to. My hand.
That all right?
Ready? We wanted to get that out while the car was still on the ground, because that thing was packed full for the feature, and it's still full.
Well, we still got 20-gallon fuel in there.
So I think we'll be all right. We need that 1/2-inch socket. I'll go ahead and take this clamp all the way off. Well, I might screw it up. I got it.
Try to get 16. Go ahead and get this bracket all the way here out of the way.
Oh, that spring system. Yeah.
Use that marker? No, I'll put that marker back.
Do it.
That marker. Out of the toolbox. Right here. Yeah. Mark where it goes.
I got a hole in the glue. Right rear top.
Yes. But I think the right where the bottom was the one that put up those, you just throw it.
Yeah. I wish I could have seen this thing before we took the sheet metal off of it, because it looked pretty bad. And it still looks pretty bad, to be honest with you. But we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. Tension on it. I'm just gonna cut it all loose and we'll get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Then we can go back and fine cut.
Take the right line on.
Watch me play.
Cut that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it all loose and then we'll come out of this. Okay. before.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. That ain't what we
But
do.
you can tell where.
Yeah, you can tell where they ground the weld on.
Yeah.
Battery has in that. We'll put it back on the charger.
I just think it's.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. But
Ready? You ready? I'm ready. It should be heavy.
well, call that a bobtail.
Bob. Bobtail modified.
All right. What? There's that.
There's it. Car park done.
Yeah. And what I was talking about, you can tell it's been repaired before. Me and Dad noticed that the welds have been ground down smooth. And right there where those bars tie in together from the down tubes. But I know y'all probably can't see it, but there is tubing up in here where they used it like to slug it, to splice together right here on both sides. Yep. So we're gonna cut all that off. We're gonna come in here and move these brake lines out of the way. We're gonna cut all this off flush with this bar here. Cut that off flush, clean up everything. So when we tie in, we'll have good welding all the way around and get our bars back in at the right angle we need. Think we can move them without undoing all of it? Yeah.
We can take this up.
Yeah, being that, give us enough room to get in there.
Should jack this measure it.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be all right without taking them off.
Or. Yeah, all this in here, y'all, is good. Luckily, none of this bent. We actually, this car was set up for a 9-inch before where it came from up north. And when you put a quick change in, it had a bar in here that ran single angle and it would hit the quick change. So we cut all that out before when we had the car over here and put these in to allow room for that quick change. So, yep. Luckily those done their job and braced the bottom to where it just bent back here and not up there. So,
All right.
a lot of it, I'll be honest with you, a lot of this stuff was bent before. This Panhard mount bar right here was bent before when Dad and I had owned this car. Like maybe it got hit in the right rear sometime and pushed that over this way.
Over to the.
Yep. But now it's out of the way, we can start cleaning everything up. We'll get some tubing, like I said, tomorrow or Monday. And once we get tubing, it won't take long at all. And we'll get this thing put back together. But y'all hang out with us. In the meantime, we're gonna get this thing jacked up, get it level, so we can get busy on it. That way it'll be level when we go to do our bars. And we'll get it jacked up and we'll start knocking off that front suspension up there. See what all is bent and what all's gotta be replaced. Y'all hang out with us. All right, y'all. As y'all can see, we got all that torn off. Pops, I think he just got down there. I believe he's gonna pull that lower control arm off. Yeah. It is bent out by the ball joint. So we got the new lower. We thought that this upper control arm from Speedway I say from Speedway, Blake ordered this from McElroy Motorsports. We thought the ball joint may have enough offset, and it still may. We're just not sure yet. So we got to get the lower control arm on with the new ball joint, put the spindle back on. The spindle is not bent. We'll get all that put back on, and then we may bolt this upper on and see if it has enough offset to get the caster and camber back where it needs to be without having to put a ton of washers in here. If it does not have enough offset, Blake brought us a spare left front upper because this one is bent also. It is bent right here a little bit, and it has pulled all the caster out of the car. So this tube is not bent, and all this is good right here. So this is the spare left front that is straight, and we have a new cross shaft that we will have to use on the right front if that lower control arm doesn't work. We will take this control arm and what's left of the first right front that he had, ball joint holder, and this broke. This happened at Talladega during the Ice Bowl. We will take this tube that just broke off and is not bent, and we will take this ball joint holder, clean it up, and that other control arm we're about to pull off on the left front, and we will build an upper to the right spread it needs to be for the cross shaft, and it'll allow for the front tube to be back so we can do the shock on the outside. That's why he bought this. This actually has enough angle in it that we can do the shock on the outside. We just don't know about the offset of the ball joint. So Pops just got the lower out. We're gonna get these bushings out of that lower control arm. We'll get them welded in the new control arm.
No, we need to lay in the back and put.
Okay. Y'all seen us do that before. We actually put these bushings in these lowers. They got the Teflon in them. They're not the steel. Yep. Those were the AFCO Teflon style. We'll take those bushings out, put them in that new lower control arm, put the ball joint in it, and get that lower back in the car. And that'll help us out to find whether or not this upper has enough offset. So y'all hang out with us. We're gonna do a little more work. See if we can't get this front suspension figured out where we want it. And we'll go from there. Well, y'all, in typical fashion of me, I didn't turn on the time lapse. We got our bushings cut out of the old control arm and welded in the new control arm. I put the Teflon inserts back in. I'm fixing to put the grease zerks back in and get all that done. But we are at a standstill. Pops and I realized that the QA1 ball joint that Blake bought is for a metric lower control arm. It is not for a Chevelle lower control arm. So that is wrong. We can't use it. So right now we're at a standstill. Obviously, y'all can see right front is totally disassembled. We were getting ready to put the lower back on, put our new upper on, and the spindle and everything back on, and figure out our shock and stuff like that. Was hoping we could get that knocked out tonight and get ahead, but that's all right.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, so our door bar done exactly what we wanted it to do. It bent the tabs and it bent the 5/8 tubing, and the 1.25 inch on this car took the blow, but it didn't get into anything as far as other than that piece of aluminum angle right there that took a beating. But we got it all cut off, and we do know that these are on backwards. Blake put them on backwards to get more angle in the pull bar, just so the hole was higher and it was still legal. So we're going to flip those around because we're going to be doing some different setup stuff on this car. But we do know those are on backwards. So that's going to be it for part 1 of resurrecting the rear end of the Harris. So we'll get some tubing, like I said. We'll get all this cut off and cleaned up in the next video. We'll get all the tubing put on back here, redo the tail section, new fuel cell mount, get all that back in. We'll get that right front buttoned up, and we'll get the left front buttoned up as well because that upper is bent. And then we're going to work on some setup stuff on this car. We were headed in the right direction with it Sunday. In the feature, Blake said it was 10 times better than it was when we started. So we're making the right moves on this old Harris. We're going to continue making adjustments and try a few things here and there. We're going to do some stuff different in the front end and maybe get it better for him. But that's going to be part 1. And we'll be back for part 2 in another day or so. Tomorrow's Sunday. Probably going to take a day off for us. We may not do anything. We can't come down here and do anything. So it's supposed to be warmer. I think it's supposed to be in the mid-60s tomorrow. And I need to do some stuff around the house. So we'll be back, y'all. Y'all hang out with us. Appreciate y'all watching. Like, comment. Please hit that subscribe button for us. And we thank y'all for watching these videos. We appreciate it. We're closing in on 400 subscribers. Can't thank y'all enough for that. If you will, share our videos with your friends. And until next time.
Appreciate it, guys. God bless you.
See y'all.